Hello.
Hello. How are you, Nicole? Later?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm fine.
That's
I'm
great.
I'm so excited about where we've come so far.
Mhm.
This is the seventh session of music and mental health online reflections, and the last time we were talking about common common disbeliefs and underrepresentation and wrong vocabulary in mental health. And it was a nice conversation. It was a nice discussion. And I really hope if somebody is watching this now and they would love to watch the previous video, they can just check out. We have a playlist on YouTube that has all these sessions from the very first one, so that you don't you're not left out in terms of what we were talking about, the previous topics. And the beauty about this is that on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, every after when the video is almost ending, there are suggestions. So I've tailored these suggestions to point you towards the right playlist and then and the video before this session or the session before. So it makes it very nice. And I'd like to welcome everyone who's joining in and whoever is either joining in live or those watching this later on YouTube. So today our topic is about the common challenges around mental health, and here we just want to really look at those things that are limiting people battling mental health challenges, but also the limitations to their community. You know, where's the gap between those who are battling these challenges and their immediate support network. But for the start, for those that don't know who I am or who we are, my name is Benjamin Komagum, and I'm an artist who currently goes by the stage name Benjamin Spartos. And for quite some time now, I've been running a lot of initiatives that are promoting mental health because of my passion for community development and social innovation, but also because I have battled mental health challenges before and I know what it means. And because I have recovered from them, I believe there are so many people out there that can learn from the things that I have learned from over time. And and that's how some of one of the projects we have, this one, Music and Mental Health Online Reflections, was born. An online space where people can have a chance or an option to actually get informed about mental health challenges or mental health matters in general. A space where people can have conversations without being judged, without being feeling uh, like someone is, pointing fingers at you or anything like that. And with me, I have a partner, Nikoleta, Antoniou, and I'll just let her introduce herself again.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nikoleta. I originally come from Greece, but I'm currently in Buffalo, and I'm working with Benjamin through University at Buffalo. I'm a student here, and I'm almost done with my bachelor degree in psychology. So fortunately, I have some more resources than Benjamin to some aspects when it comes to psychology and topics about mental health, which is why I'm here also to offer some insight, to answer some questions, and to just join the conversation, make it as normal as possible to talk about these challenges like we're going to do today, because it is normal. Like when you struggle with physical health, you would talk about breaking your leg or breaking your arm. The same way we can talk about what happens when perhaps you're feeling a little bit lower than usual or you're experiencing some mental health problems.
Great. And also, I think what you mentioned earlier was that I am grateful to the University at Buffalo for this partnership, and it's through them that I got to meet Nikoleta, and it's been an amazing journey, you know. And okay, so enough introductions. I think before we dive into the actual topic for today's session, maybe Nikoleta, you would help us talk about some of the common mental health disorders, and just quickly just give a basic general description for them, and then after that, maybe then we can dive into the topic.
Yes, of course. So there are some mental health disorders that are more common than others. In the top of the list, we have depression and anxiety. And a lot of people might not know exactly what this feels like or what they are. So depression, it will be an extreme amount of sadness that you would feel. You would feel differently in the way of that you don't have the same desire to do the things that made you feel pleasure before, make you like you don't want to hang out so much with your friends, you don't want to spend as much time with your family, things that you normally used to like, you just don't like doing it anymore. You would see that perhaps there is so much lower energy, you want to sleep a lot of hours, you don't want to leave the bed, you don't want to leave the house, you want to feel a little bit more alone, spend a lot more time by yourself. And it's this, we describe basically mental health disorders and especially depression and anxiety in the fact that they affect your functioning. So to make it classify as something that is a disorder and an illness, because just being sad, like you don't have to worry if you're feeling a little bit sad these days or a little bit low energy, but when it starts affecting your life and has a big impact in your life, in your relationships, then that's when there would be a definition of a mental health challenge. And then we have anxiety, that is the extreme state of stress. You're stressed all the time. And anxiety can come in many different things. You can have some specific fears about the future, some phobias, like some people, for example, have social anxiety disorder. They don't like being so much with other people, with many, many other people all the time, or they feel a little bit more awkward, a little bit more uncomfortable, and that's normal. And then anxiety in general is just this fear for the future, like thinking about all the bad things that can happen in the future, overthinking, overanalyzing everything, and just feeling this constant that sense of there is danger, there is threat, something is going to happen to me that is not good. But yeah, and then I think something very common as well, and from my understanding in the Uganda community is very common is PTSD, which is the post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's after a very traumatic event that it could be any event that could be traumatic to you. It doesn't have to be big. It could be even a small event. Something that brings you a lot of trauma. Later, it's going to be really hard for you to move on from that, which means that perhaps you're going to have nightmares about it. You're going to have extreme stress about it. You're going to have flashbacks, thinking about it again. It's going to come up to your head out of nowhere. And that's kind of like how we would describe PTSD. And it is something that is treatable. You can go to therapy about it. You can do other things to move on from that. And it's a valid reason to not feel good after you had a traumatic experience. I think these are the three most common ones. There are a lot more. And upon request, we can talk about more things, obviously. But I think that I can just pass the mic to Benjamin and then we can dive in on our topic for today.
Okay, that was nice. Okay, so and maybe before I just dive into the topic, I think I always love to stress out on the fact that we need to understand that mental health challenges are our problems. You know, we need to stop the habit of feeling like that you don't have to associate with matters related to mental health issues or problems, because the thing is, if you don't help, if you don't do what you can to help one who's battling a mental health challenge, especially the ones that are closest to you, there's a very high likely chance that you can also get a mental health challenge. And if we don't help each other, that pattern or that negative kind of mindset is going to continue. And then that's where you have a kind of community where people feel more selfish, more less united about some of these issues. And that's what makes these kind of issues get more complicated or take a long time to get better, for people to get better. So I really encourage everyone, whoever is listening to this out there, to be more to be more passionate about understanding what mental health issues are. And the truth is, nobody knows it all. Even me or Nikoleta here, the best we do is to share what we can and have discussions about some of these topics that we feel people out there need to, listen to or need to talk about. And then most of it is up to each and every one of us. After you listen to this, after you have this discussion, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go and then is it going to change how you look at people battling mental health challenges? Is it going to push you to make more research about mental health matters, mental health issues? Do you have someone in your family who is actually battling a mental health challenge? Do you have your friend or your workmate who is battling this mental health challenge? Is there a mental health challenge that was mentioned that you've seen someone battling, and how do you then respond to that? So, like I mentioned earlier, our topic today is the common challenges or limitations that we have within the mental health space. And I think we're going to be sharing this based on different sides, and I'll be sharing my experience based on Uganda, the Ugandan aspect, or some of the things that have been happening. And then Nikoleta will share based on the United States, and then we can compare our notes and see how to make things better. Okay, so I think one of the challenges that we have here in the mental health sector is the access to medication or treatment. And you find that most of this revolves around, first of all, the lack of enough information about where to get mental health services or mental health support. And for those that are aware about where to get these services, sometimes, and in many cases, these mental health facilities are not equipped enough to support a good number of people. So some of them are limited to the resources that they have in terms of the medication. So when I had these music sessions at the mental health unit in Gulu here, many times you'd find that patients are given fewer dosage, and then they're sent to buy this medication from outside. So, and then some of these medications are quite expensive, especially the ones that run out of stock. So you find that the mental health unit here receives fewer medication, and not that we blame them, but then there is probably a challenge somewhere. So maybe how the medication is distributed, is there a challenge in that, or there's just probably not enough funds to purchase enough of this medication. but then there's probably a gap. But because of that gap, it's making it very difficult for people who are battling these mental health challenges to access the right treatment and to heal better. And many times, many of them, because of because of the fact that they don't have, say, the money to get this medication in time or to get it at all, most of their conditions become worse. And so sometimes the previous treatments become pointless or meaningless because they failed to complete their dosage. I think another challenge we have here is in relation to self-esteem or confidence. You find that when somebody is battling a mental health challenge, they are their ability to speak up about it is going to be low, or the likelihood that they're going to actually speak out about what they're going through there's a very low chance because of the stigma around mental health challenges. When you people there is that notion or that idea that if I say that I'm battling a mental health challenge, people are going to call me mad or crazy. People are going to start isolating themselves away from me. They're going to start forming groups and start talking about me negatively, or I'm going to lose my job, or those kind of things. And I think all this is based around mindsets. What do you as an employer, how do you look at someone who's battling mental health challenges? Do you look at them as someone who's actually not capable of work? And how do you ascertain that? Is it based on the fact that they are not actually productive, or just because of the fact that they're battling a mental health challenge? So I think, and sometimes you may find that some of these mental health challenges that workers face are got during work or because of certain activities at work. So I think it's important for people as employers or managers to be kind of aware about some of these things, so that somehow you can run some kind of activities that can help ascertain the mental health condition of your employees, or try to build the mental health of your employees. And I think that's something that we will discuss more as a topic of its own, mental health at workspaces. But yeah, so there is the confidence and self-esteem, and there's the fear of there's a fear whether there's that fear of whether the condition will actually get cured or cured, or whether the mental health condition will heal completely. And I think that's something that revolves around, it comes because of the fact that many of us here are not very, we're not very open to, or we don't have a proper idea of what mental health challenges are. So even when we are given some of these medications or treatments, sometimes we don't really believe that these treatments can actually work. So you find that you're taking these medications, or you're given these kind of medications for a period of time, and you feel like, when will I actually ever get better? It's taking long. It's making me feel all sorts of ways, maybe feel dizzy and those kind of things. And then, there's that feeling, or there's that uh, fear of, will this condition actually ever get better? And if it gets better, will I be completely cured, or will there be a chance that I'll actually get back to the same condition or something worse? And I think I already mentioned the cost of medication, which is a bit high based on the number of the majority of people who are battling mental health challenges, most of them are not actually able to buy these medications or treatments. Then I think I can end with the social interactions, or how the community engages with people battling mental health challenges, or how they respond to mental health challenges. And the community or society or neighbors or the support network, I think there's a big challenge there, and that is something that is affecting like people battling mental health challenges a lot. At some point, I had an interaction with an organization here that introduced me to some mental health patients, and you find that many times people go back to mental health patients who receive treatment through this organization, but then when they go back, after actually showing some signs of progress and healing and recovery, they're sent back to the community to continue with medication. But then how their community or how their society embraces them plays a great role to whether they're actually going to get better. Most of them have gone back to their communities and have actually gotten worse. They've had to be readmitted back to the organization so that they can, get. So you find yourself asking yourself the question: should mental health patients not be able to, go back to their communities to actually heal? And yet that's something really necessary, and that's something that is more manageable, because if all mental health patients then are just staying at a mental health unit, even when they're actually getting better, you're going to run out of space. You're going to the hospital is going to use a lot of resources. But imagine if the community was more cooperative in terms of working together with this patient to help them recover, reminding them about when they have to take their medication, and also even helping them take this medication. Because the truth is, the journey of recovery from a mental health condition is not something you can do on your own. It's something where you need not just one caretaker or caregiver. You need more than just one. And if you have we have a community, and I think our community is our closest caretaker or caretakers. And the smallest unit of a community is a family. And you find that even within these families, people who are battling these mental health challenges are still facing a lot of opposition, how they're treated. You find that some of them even have children, but irrespective of that fact, because they are battling a mental health challenge, they're treated like in an unhuman way. So yeah, I think that's all I can share from my side. I'll let Nikoleta share from her side.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all that, Benjamin. Some things are very similar, United States and in Europe, I think in general, because I can talk for both sides because I am from Europe. I think the biggest thing, I'm pretty sure you could probably confirm that as well. When I was battling some mental health issues, and I think every single person that has battled mental health issues has received at some point a comment that was negative towards it, whether that is judgment or that it is someone coming and telling you that what you're feeling is not accurate, or it's not as big as you make it sound. Maybe you're too dramatic. Maybe, oh, come on, like you can do this or you can do that. And when you try to explain to them that, no, this is real. Like, I really feel bad. I really don't feel good with myself. And someone's going to try to change your opinion that, no, come on, no, she's exaggerating. He's exaggerating. So there comes this idea of the social interaction, as Benjamin was saying, that people think they know better. It's not a big deal, and that comes with understanding what mental health challenges are and understanding what mental health is, and that everybody goes through that at some point in their lives, and we should be more open and taking it in. And when people want to share their stories and want to share how they see it, the best thing you can do is just sit there and listen and be supportive. And if you cannot be supportive, at least don't offer negative judgment when someone comes and tells you something that is very personal to them, like they don't feel good, they have suicidal thoughts, they feel depressed, that anything of that sort. I think the biggest problem it's stigma from that side, because people are always trying to look tough and to look that they are successful and that they're held together, and they don't want to look like they're weak or that they're vulnerable. And we have associated struggling with mental health being a weakness, which is actually not true at all. Like, it's not a weakness. I'll say it again and again. I think it's a strength. Any person who has gone through a mental health challenge knows how much strength it takes for every day to wake up and do your life and function and wake up again and interact with people, be with your family, be with your kids, be with your partner. This takes a lot of strength. So the last thing you should allow people to tell you is that you're weak if you're feeling bad about mental health and if you're struggling with mental health. Financial aspect is very big here as well. There is health insurance. However, health insurance is very expensive in the United States. This is something very common. It's not just only in Uganda. And so many people do not want to go to therapy because they don't have money for it, because therapy is very, very expensive. Get to a therapist and get your medication is very expensive. Food is very expensive as well. So people that are struggling with eating disorders, this is very difficult to be able to nourish yourself and eat very well, because at the end of the day, the food is very expensive. So the easiest thing for you is to buy junk food and eat a burger and pizza, because it's so much more cheaper, and it can feel like it fills you up. However, it doesn't help with eating disorders. It doesn't help with obesity. It doesn't help with so many other things. But I believe the biggest struggle that we have here is the idea that people do not trust the therapist. They don't trust that this person can help you. They think that the moment you're going to tell your friend or your partner or a therapist that I'm struggling, then that automatically makes you less of a person. It doesn't make you a nice person, doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you who you are. And that's a very wrong idea. And that's something that, unfortunately, it comes from above. As Benjamin has said in previous sessions, the leaders, what do the leaders say to us? How do they portray mental health? How do they talk about it? Do they tell us that you should seek help if you're not feeling good? Or do you see from society, and what is society? It's us, basically, from your parents, from everyone else. When people tell you, I feel sad, I don't feel like doing this, what do you tell them? Do you tell them to just like go with it, to not care about yourself, to just go to your work, even if it makes you feel absolutely miserable, to continue with your responsibilities and with your life without talking about it, without seeking help? Because we learned that to be successful, to make money, to provide for the family, you need to still keep it all in. You don't talk about this because your purpose is to provide. And even if you feel bad, even if you feel depressed, I do not care. You need to provide for the family. That's a very big gap here, and very big gap with generations, because that's what our parents used to say. That's what our grandparents used to say. And we still hear those things today. The idea of no matter what happens in your life, you need to provide and you need to put your family first. You need to put other people first. And we're not saying here that you shouldn't care about your family and other people, but you should take care of yourself before you take care of everybody else. If any of you have ever taken a flight, the first thing that the flight attendant says is put the oxygen mask first to you and then to your kid. The reason why is because if you put the oxygen mask first to your kid and then to you, it's more likely that you're going to die on this time and you cannot help the kid anymore. So you need to take care of yourself first before you try to take care of all the other people. because it doesn't do any good if you don't feel good yourself. That's very common. And I think the last thing is that people are very scared to talk about those things because they're very scared of what it's going to come up. When you don't feel good, you try to convince yourself that everything is okay, try to deny it. But if you go and talk about it with someone, if you go and talk about it with anybody, therapist, a friend, if you say to someone, maybe it actually becomes a thing, becomes an actual thing that exists out there. You put it out there and you're so scared of how will the world see me? How will I see myself? With that, I say that you need to take care of yourself the best way you can. When you feel hungry, is the idea that your body's telling you, go and eat food because I need it. When you have a headache, maybe you did a lot of things today and your head hurts because, I don't know, you were in a screen for a long time, or you just had a tough day. The same way when your brain tells you, I don't feel good, I feel a little bit lower, is the idea of you need to change something because I don't feel good right now. It's a hint. Your body gives you a hint for basically take care of me. The same way you hear everything that's physically happening to your body and you go to sleep and you go and eat, you do all those things, listen to your brain and listen to your mind. Take care of yourself and put yourself first. That's what I would say, Benjamin.
Okay, thank you very much, Nikoleta. That was really nice. So maybe just for a quick break, I'll just do a short song, a short a cappella. It's a song called Angel by Your Side. And I think people out there need to know that there is someone out there hoping that they're better, that they're okay. And sometimes it goes the other way around. If you're out there and you're probably wondering who am I supposed to support, sometimes you don't have to look so far away. Sometimes the people you need to actually help are very closer to you than you can imagine, you know? So sometimes you just have to change how you approach things, how you look at things. You have to change your statements towards certain people, and maybe they will open up and let you in on something that they probably may have not opened up to other people. And you might be that person that might create a bridge between the mental health challenge that they're facing and their solution. Okay, so I'll be the angel by your side. I will get you through the night. I'll be the strength you can't provide on your own. 'Cause when you're down and out of time and you think you've lost the fight, let me be the angel by your side. 'Cause this won't be the last time you need a little hope. But I wanna be the first to let you know I'll be the angel by your side. I will get you through the night. I'll be the strength you can't provide on your own. 'Cause when you're down and out of time and you think you've lost the fight, let me be the angel by your side. Let me be the angel by your side. Yeah, that was Angel by Your Side. And I hope whoever's watching or listening in gets to know that Benjamin and Nikoleta are willing to be the angel by your side. And right now, that's the importance of these online reflections. We want to try and be there. We want to let people know that mental health challenges are real, and mental health challenges are actually killing a lot of people. But most of them are dying because they don't have the right support they need. And many times you find that the support that people actually need is not the money, but it's the little kind of care that you actually give to these people, that you show to them. I'll always encourage you to just be more supportive, be more open uh, to everyone around you, and just know that working together is better than working alone. So I guess we've come to the end of this discussion, unless there is something that you might want to say, Nikoleta.
Well, I would just like to say that your song was once again very beautiful, and yes, we would love to be the angels by your side. And if any of you need to speak to us, and you know where to find us, you know how to contact us, and even if you just want to watch these videos to not feel so alone in the way you feel, then feel free to do that. You don't need to contact us. You don't need to leave a comment or do anything like that. And just remember that you're not alone in this, that people care about you, that your life is worth staying, you are worth living this life. And continue, keep going every day. Even the days that seem so difficult, just take it one day at a time, and you can do this. If we could do this, you could do this too. Keep going every day and try to find every day something to just keep you here until you have filled your heart and your brain with things that want to make you stay right here, because we want you to stay right here with us.
Awesome. Thank you again, Nikoleta. It was really nice to have this with you. And like I mentioned earlier in the previous session, it's nice to do this with someone. Doing it alone can be very burdening, but it's nice. And I guess that goes back to, that the idea of working together, finding the right people to work with, and knowing your strengths and then building on those on that. So if to re-echo what Nikoleta said, if you're out there and you're watching this video, feel free to leave a comment about what you think about our topic. If there's something we talked about that you think we should throw more light on. If the comment section is too public for you and you feel like you want to have a more personal interaction with us, please feel free to just message us on whatever platform you're watching this video. If it's on YouTube, I'm sure there will be an email there where you can reach out to us and request to talk to either one of us, and you'll be able to do so. And so it's just amazing to know that we've reached this far. This is the 7th session, and we're not giving up. And I think that's the beauty about it. For those that will be able to see the previous videos, you'll find that sometimes we came in late, and other times we had a few challenges. But then I think pushing on, holding on to hope, and never giving up on that thing that you believe in, I think is very important, especially in mental health. If you're out there and you're battling a mental health challenge, I'll encourage you and let you know that the journey is not simple. If you're taking medication, it's not going to be a few weeks kind of medication thing like Panadol, where you have to take it for only like 3 days or 5 days maximum, and your pain will be relieved. Sometimes treatment for mental health conditions can take some time, but the beauty is, you know, embracing the milestones that you have achieved, you know, each time, and finding that one thing that can help you get yourself motivated, get yourself refreshened up. And we have a video where we talked about some of these things, and some of them could be sports. You could find a favorite sport that you can do. It could be listening to music or singing or writing. It could be drawing. It could be talking to friends. It could be dancing. You can find your thing that makes you find the balance um, of your mental health. So thanks once again to everybody that has joined in, and see you guys again next on Monday, same time, 6 p.m.